Alright YouTube, in this video we are going to see how to create this website using WordPress. So we have created this from scratch along with a plugin. So we have added a widget plugin here. So the widget plugin is this one. So let me show you how does it works. So on the widget section we have a showcase section. So if you type something like UI monk, this section will be available over here. The text what we have modified is available over here. So we have activated a plugin. Let me show you the plugin as well. So this is a plugin which we have activated, and that is the reason why we could edit this. Along with that, we have made this search as dynamic, and we have used navwalker to make this navbar responsive, and we have added the custom card categories and a recent post. Now if you click on recent post, you see there is a multi-image available. That is also we are going to see how to add this, and along with that we are able to augment it. I have not used CSS much, but we are mainly focusing on the WordPress core functions. Fine, now let's get into the tutorial intro. Now we are going to convert this static HTML into WordPress. Now if you see on the intro, we have already converted it to the WordPress. Now this is a static file. This is a single.php, and category and recent post is already there. Now let's convert this. So to save the time, I have already installed the WordPress in the name of 12th theme. So on the XAMPP htdocs there would be a folder, WordPress folder with name 12th theme. Fine, let's open it. C drive, XAMPP htdocs 12th theme. It will take some time. Let me pause it. Fine, now we are going to set up the basic themes. So for that, get into the themes and name the folder as 12th underscore theme, and inside the 12th theme let's create a file called index.php, and then style.css, and then we need to add another screenshot. So let's take the screenshot of the page and save it on the same folder. We need a screenshot.png. Let's save this. XAMPP htdocs 12 theme wp content themes, our theme, and name it as screenshot. Now that's done. That is the basic minimum thing required. So if you click on themes, our themes would be visible. Appearance, themes. So here is our theme. Let's activate it. Now our index.html, index.php is blank. So our front page will also be blank. So for the next thing, what we are going to do is, let's convert the static HTML into WordPress. Open the index, just copy all the same thing and paste it on the index.php. And now if you see, index.php will be HTMLs except the images which we haven't linked yet. Now let's separate the part. Let's separate the header section on the header.php. Control N, save it as header.php. Paste it. Paste the header code. Don't forget to add a WP header. The same way, we need to make sure we have had a WP footer on the bottom just before closing the body tab. So let's take this and give it in the footer.php. Now call the footer files. The same way, add the header file. There should be no change. Get header and get footer, WP footer, WP header. Fine. Now let's make the menu dynamic. So as we already seen how to implement navwalker, we'll take the whole thing out and let's create a file called functions.php. And as we already seen, navwalker bootstrap for WordPress, it will be a GitHub link. We have to get the file, this file, and save it into our theme folder. Control N, Control S, save. We'll name the same, save it. Now we need to call this on the functions.php. Require underscore once. This is a file, and you don't worry, there would be a detailed description of how to use it. So we have added the require once, and then we need to add this section on the header where we have removed, but inside PHP. Is primary, we don't need the container because we already have the container and the ID. So let's remove these two sections. Let's keep everything as it is. And now we have to register the navbar on the functions.php. And let's also implement the code for customizing logo. So this is the theme support for custom logo, and this is for registering nav menu. This primary, we have used it over here. Fine. Now let's add the menu to check. Now if you refresh, menu option would be available because we have added theme support for it. On the functions file, let's create a menu. And save this to the primary menu. Click on save, and now if you refresh the index page, the menu should be dynamic. Yes, you see, menu is dynamic now. So if we haven't created any page, let's create a page. Let's name it as service. So I have created a page. Let me refresh it. Now it will be available on the section view all services, add to menu. Click on save. Now let's check, refresh it. Great. Now let's make this as a drop down. Great, that is also working. Fine. Now let's implement this search section dynamic, which is really very easy in WordPress. Method is going to be get, and action is going to be what? PHP escape underscore URL home underscore URL, and on the input add name equal to yes. Now if you refresh, this is also dynamic. We'll check it afterwards because the post is not dynamic. And that's it. Now let's implement the logo, which is over here. We just have to use the if condition to check whether there is function. So here it is. Let me comment this. If the custom logo we have used custom logo here, if the function exists, then you use the logo. So you see on the customize section there would be a section called logo because we have added theme support for it. Site identity. So here it is. Select logo. Let's select a logo. This was the logo. Select. There has been another copying. Okay, skip copying. Click on publish. And now if I refresh, it is too big. If you want, you can use the CSS for now. So on the nav brand we have an image. Let's set the height of the image as 75 pixel and width of the image as 50 pixel. If that doesn't work, let's use the important. If that doesn't work, then what we can do is we have to use a function. It is coming in line. So let's see how we can fix it. So you see they have given the code for it. Let's try to add this on the functions.php. Previously it was just theme support, then now we are passing the variable as well. The height is going to be 75 and the width is going to be 50. Now let's refresh it and check it. Great, this is what we needed and it is working absolutely as we thought. Comment this out. Why it isn't working? Let me check. Fine, we'll use the CSS itself. Let's make it 100. Refresh it, and that seems alright. So for now, we have separated the header footers. We have implemented the bootstrap navbar. Now the tricky part comes in. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a widget plugin. So what widget plugin will do? So for that, what we have to do is we have to first register the sidebar on the functions.php. So if I show you, this has been overridden. It's dashboard. Now on the widget section, appearance widget, there would be two sections. So this is the showcase. So we'll create a widget plugin that will be available, over here. So there would be two fields. The first field will be the heading and the title. So once we click on submit, these values will be reflected over here. So for that we are going to use the widget API. Just to give you the demo, what we have to do is we have to create a files on the WP content plugin. Inside the plugin we need to create 3 files. so which we will be doing. And as a third file, this file we need to paste it. It's a class file. So just to show you, so the first section, the first function construct, what it's doing is it is just initializing the title and description, like the class name and the description of the widget. The second function, it's the widget function. What it will do is this will output the value on the front page. And the third function, which is form, this whatever we have to insert the form here. So as I said, we need two input field. The first one is title and description, that we will be using here. And finally, this is for the update section. So whatever we insert on the form, that will be stored and it will be displayed over here. So that work will be done over here. So fine, now let's get into our project, which is at C drive, XAMPP htdocs, wp content, plugins. This time it's plugins. So we'll name it as Jumbotron. So Jumbotron is a folder. Inside the Jumbotron folder, we have a class file and we have a PHP file. Now let me show you how does it looks. So the class file, we will describe it, but the PHP file is really very straightforward. We are just including the class file and we are registering the widget in it, and this is the function. So this is the class name, you see, my custom widget. This is the class name. As I said, the first one is going to be the title. We'll give it as Jumbotron widget. And the second one, what are the options that we need? We need title, we need text, we have text area, we have checkbox, and we have select. Now let me show you how does it looks. We have to activate the plugin first to make it available over here. It's our Jumbotron widget. Activate it, refresh it. We should see Jumbotron widget. Add it to the showcase section. And now what are the things that we have? Actually it is not showing up. Let's see done. So I have used this block to create the widget plugin. It is really very easy to understand, and I have also used the same thing on my previous video, which will be available on the 5th of the playlist. So I'm just directly skipping into it. So you see, these are the things which we default get. So let me remove some of the values which is not at all needed. So we don't need the checkbox, we don't need the text field. Let's let the check field be there. Let's remove the text, and we don't need this section as well. Now if you see, title and text area is available. Now what we need to do is we have to get into the Jumbotron, which is available on index.php. And we just need to make sure if the sidebar is active, then display the sidebar. So let's check whether we have given the name same. Yes, it is sidebar. Actually it's showcase, I'm sorry. Fine, now let's see what output we get. So to see the output, it was the first one. Actually we have seen 3 sets. The first one is form that will be available on the admin section for backend, and this is the widget. I believe this we will see on the front end. So the echo is going to be simply the text area and the title, and everything is going to be similar. Now let me echo this out. It is going to be title. Now let's see how does it looks. We have activated the plugin. At present it is blank because we haven't added anything. E-commerce website created by UI Monk as his 12th WordPress theme from scratch. Click on save, refresh it, and great, our UI is working as we thought. So if you see this padding bottom 5 is available, it is because we have used the padding bottom 5 over here. So if I remove it, that's gone. Now let's work on this widget. So we have already used the functions.php, and we just need to use some. This is before widget, after widget. It should be card, and there should be 2 times closing, and after the card title we need to add div with class card body, and then again div with class card header. And after this closes the card header, and card body is closed over here, and that's it. That's running great. Now let's add the widget over here on the sidebar section. We need what are the section? Categories and recently added post. Where is category? Add to sidebar, and then we have recently added post. Add to sidebar. Categories. Where is categories? Everything seems alright. Recent post and recent categories available. Now what we need to do is we need to create the custom. So let's create a widget folder. On that widget we'll have, let's open it in our SAMP docs. On the WP includes, we have widgets. We need to grab 2 files, categories and recent post. Grab these 2 files and get into the WP content, themes, widgets, paste it. Now open these 2 files just modify the class name because we don't want two class names. Customs and custom, and we need to call these two classes in the functions.php by registering the widget. So if you remember, we have already done it on the folder. This is how we register a widget. There will be two classes. Let's open the two classes name. This is the second one. So far so good. Now let's modify the files. It will definitely have UL as a tag. Just add the class list group the same way. Class list group, and it will also have an li class list group item. Now let's refresh it. Cannot re-declare register. Okay, this was a similar file, similar function names. So let's make it my 2 times, no issues. Not found. We have to include this file over here inside the widget. We need to get the file names. This is the first one. And this is the second one. Refresh it. Require once. Fail to open stream, no such files. // Actually it's widgets, I believe. Yes, it's widgets. And now on the sidebar, which we will be getting on the index page, we'll do one thing. We'll get the whole thing and paste it into the footer, so we don't have to repeat it again and again. Where is the footer? It's over here, and just above it just paste it. Now we need to check if there is active sidebar, as we did for the index file Jumbotron. This is the code for that. Just paste it. It is simply sidebar. We don't need this UL anymore, or we don't need these any classes, because we have used before and after, before title and after title. Actually I just missed with the code. So let's copy the PHP code, and we don't need this card body because it will be dynamic, and this is again it will be dynamic, and it's not a Jumbotron. Let's see. These only should be dynamic. Recent post, and it is uncategorized. And now this is uncategorized. Let's add some categories. We have added some 4 categories. Now let's see whether categories are available or not. So far we have not created any post. That might be the reason, so that's not an issue. Fine, I have added the CSS. So let's paste this on our style.css and just link the header to it. This is a link. We just have to add style sheet URL, function, now let's refresh. Actually it's blog info style sheet URL. That's working as we thought. Now we need to make the post and make this section dynamic. So the very first thing what we need to do is, before uploading any post, we need to do one thing, which is when theme setup, we need to add a post thumbnail feature as well. So for that, on the functions.php, just add theme support post thumbnail. So now let's add a post. These 2 things we need. Inspect. We'll just use the same HTML because we have already seen many times how to use it. We'll just directly paste the HTML. Fine. If you need, you can add a featured image as well. Let's upload all the images. So now you have seen I have used the if there is post, then there will be while loop running. So let's make this dynamic as well. The post thumbnail, and then simply it's the content. Now let's check. Let's surround it with, we don't need the HTML anymore, we need the blog info, PHP, blog info, and the blog info name is going to be what? The underscore permalink. Fine, that is working. Now let's style this. Let's surround it with post thumbnail div, and this is a class img width of 100%. If I refresh, or else you can give the pixel max width. Let's see whether the style is getting applied or not. And the post thumbnail, is a class, hard refresh, search for post thumbnail. It doesn't seem to be applied. Control U, Control F, style.css. Yes, it has been applied. Then why it's not showing up? Set height and width of image in Wordpress post underscore thumbnail. So we need to modify it on the index.php. Sorry, functions.php. We need to pass the height and width to it, just how it is being given here. On theme setup, actually that's too much. Let's check whether it is working. Crop we don't need. Actually there is a condition problem. It should be just below here. And then we have anchor tag, active while loop window. Let's check now. Yes, that seems to be working with CSS. (500 by 500). So this is coming from functions.php. Great. You can also do the same thing with CSS. Just add the height over here. Great. Likewise, let's add so many things. Again another post, new post. Actually it's media, we need post. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll pause it and add the post and show you. Yes, I have added 6 posts. Now let me remove this. So we'll make the single.php. I just made the single.php and it will search. If I click here, it is getting into 12th theme. It should not get there. Why is that happening? Let's see the permalink where it is linked. Actually it is linked to 12th theme. Let's see why. We have used the permalink on the index.php. Actually it's directly the permalink. I'll refresh. Yes, it is getting to the right place. Now we are the single.php. We'll make this yes, and we need to give custom style to it, so we'll do it in a minute. So call, let's create a row again, and then call sm6 2 times. The first one will hold the image, we don't need the anchor tag anymore. The first one will hold the image, and the second one will hold the content, and then remove the anchor tag. Let's see how does it looks. With this, let's style it. It is going to be 550 width and 350 height. Let's see how does it looks. 450 width. I have used hard refresh, so it is taking some time. 350 by 350. Not bad. Click on black t-shirt, so we'll see the black t-shirt. So let's see where this index.html is. On the navbar, get header. Here it is. PHP echo home underscore URL slash. Let's see. Yes, it is redirecting properly now. Now we need to see why it is looking like this. So actually, if you see on the index.php, this style is getting applied, but on single.php this style is not getting applied. If I search for navbar brand, the image is commented. So again we need to write a class, and that will hold the image and give the image a style. Fine, now that seems to be alright. That seems to be fixed. So if you want to comment, it's really very simple. Just this is a row and this is, let's create a call sm12, and let's add php comments underscore template. Actually it's 3em. Great. If you want, let's create a div with text center. Let's add this inside it. Now refresh. So this row is not taking me full, let's remove that row. Fine, we are not interested in styling it. We'll leave as it is. So now let's try to add a gallery. So if you see, let's edit this post and let's add some gallery to it, like media files to it. Gallery, upload, update. Now let's check. There seems to be a mess. Let's delete this. This is the featured image and this is the gallery. Let's try this. Let's remove all these. Media library. Let's add only 3 items. Insert gallery. Now let's check. Okay, I got the issue because we need to add the title. Here we have added the here we have added the content. That's the reason we were getting 4 images over here. Now what we need to do is, on the index page, instead of content, let's make this the title. Now that's what we were looking for. Margin bottom of 5. Now everything would be alright. Great. See? Load this product. Submit the comment. If you want, you can style this file as well, but we are not doing it. Long lasting one. Click on post comment. Again. That's great. Let's search t-shirt 2. You see t-shirt 2 is available. That's all for this video. We'll meet you in the next one.